While the West was in the battlefield, fighting for Israel and signing billion-dollar checks for bombs, China was in Africa signing billion-dollar deals in Africa for railway infrastructure development. They signed almost $11.39 billion deals.
Anniversary of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, leaders.
China knows it. China is going there. Are you prepared? You as an African, what arrangements have you made for yourself and your future generation? We all know China doesn't act for the immediate future. They plan 10 years in advance. That is what they are doing in Africa. Africa is the prize. They see the future in Africa. You as an African, do you see the future in your continent? What are you doing? Do you plan on investing back home for yourself and for your children? Or are you comfortable with the way life is? Or you don't mind what your future generation is going to live on? This is what we as Africans should be thinking, especially us in the diaspora. Generational wealth may start from you. It is for you to start keeping and building the generational wealth. In the past decades, we have seen China continuously investing in Africa. They have bought billions of dollars in the continent. They see the future. They know where the world is going to. They want to be at the forefront. What are you doing with this information? Also, we have to look at it. Is it a trap? Many people talk about the debt trap that China is giving African leaders. Or is it that they know where the future is going to and look at Africa as the center point of the future generation? We all know that Africa is one of the oldest continents in my book and the most exploited continent, but still, it's the most blessed continent. And for some reason, it hasn't grown economically. But then, what Africa has is population. And that is the future. China sees it. Russia sees it. The West, the arrogance of the West, is pushing them away. That is up to them. Recently, Canada just published that they haven't had an increase in their population in the first quarter. That is a decline in population. Whereas in Africa, babies are born every single day, every single hour, every single second. That is the future. That is where gold is. That is the new gold. That population, they can do the work. We all know how China developed. They had the population ready to do cheap labor, but very smart. The arrogance of the West saw some jobs that no, they really cannot do it. The West, they didn't want to do manufacturing. So what did they do? They transferred everything over to China. China capitalized on that, built their country, invested in their people, and is coming up today as one of the superpower, and it's actually going to be the superpower of the future. The Chinese culture makes it unique in that they are good at saving and they think about the future. The future is where we all want to be. It might be in AI, it might be in technology, robots, going to the moon, occupying Mars, maybe Jupiter one day. Who knows? Who knows where the next genius is going to be born? Who knows what the next development is going to look like? Development was created by man. China knows that. China sees that. China is investing in that. I want to know, what are you doing? Have you thought about it this way? Or you're comfortable with yourself? In the past week, while the US was busy fighting, bombing each other, China provided one of the most strategic, they did a strategic move in Africa, providing tariff-free for 53 countries in the continent. That is good. I think it's better than giving visa-free for some countries. Now, what will you do with that 0% tariff? Are you going to go buy clothes and come sell? Will you buy weaves and come sell? Or are you going to think a little bit bigger? What about manufacturing? What about coming together and opening a manufacturing industry? We have to be smart. We have tariff-free. That is what some countries are looking for. America included. They do. Rather than going and buying the cheap goods, let us make sure that when we go to buy, we buy quality goods. Africans need to have quality over quantity. We need to think big. It's not only about opening a bar. What about the processing a factory? What about going there and doing business with one of the EV companies to open a branch in Africa? That is how we have to think. It is an opportunity, and let us do good with that opportunity. Coming back to this, China is getting into Africa in a very aggressive way. Are our leaders prepared? This is business. If you can make a deal, you will be left out. Are they still going to make the deals they did with the colonizers? Or are they going to be smart and make a deal that is going to favor the people? Is it still going to be 10%? Or it's going to be, no, I want you to build a refinery here and I want you to employ my people so that they can learn. Africa is tired of exporting all its raw material and buying finishing product. We need to start producing our own food the way we like it. We have geniuses everywhere in the continent that are ready and willing to do the job. We need our leaders to be able to pave the way for us, not put us down. Is now not the time for us to partner with maybe one of the pharmaceutical companies so that they can build a branch in Africa and help us to research? Is it not time for us to be able to come together and build our own railway rather than having China do it for us all the time? Is it not time for us to develop our own energy sector? We have a lot of water in Africa. It is said water is the new gold. With all the AI coming out, they have a lot of data centers that need to store the data. One thing the data centers need is water for cooling. Africa has that in abundance. Many of them have not been tapped. Many of them have not been touched. It's time for us to start looking at our future and stop waiting for people to do it for us. The time for Africa to rise is coming. Are we going to be the ones in the continent? Or the continent is going to be made up of people from other nations, other continents? We have to be smart. We have to think ahead. That is how we create this generational wealth for ourselves and for our children. China sees that. China is coming in and coming in with their people. We are leaving. Is it time for me to come back? Is it time for me to start investing back home? Will the government make it easy for me to invest back home? What African head of states have shown is that they prefer diplomacy to war. They want to be able to do business and govern their nations the way they see fit. Which is a good thing. I hope they are smart. Also, is it time for us to open most African countries to our brothers and sisters in America? The Black Americans, I mean. They have the wealth, they have the money. If they come and invest, then we are making sure that the continent is still going to be for us. But how will we do that? Ghana is doing a good job. Ghana is developing. Their currency, I think right now, is one of the best performing currencies. It is time for our leaders to start thinking ahead and stop the mindset of being a puppet to anybody. The time for Africa is coming. The time for Africa is near. Make sure you're prepared for you, your future, your generation, your family. Thank you so much for listening to me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll bring you more and more and more information. Have a blessed day.